Hey, this is my video for mounting D-rings on your 67 to 72 K10 or C10. I guess the same. I don't know why you would mount these on a two-wheel drive, but yeah, Amber Alert, just baby stop. Someone's gonna die, but that's the way the world works. So as I was saying, this frames for these trucks for 67 to 72. I don't know the specific years, but on the front bolts right here, you can see how the bottom bolt for my bracket is much further forward than the top bolt. And on the later frames, sometimes they're parallel, sometimes that one's further that way. It just kind of depends on what you have, but it doesn't really matter for what you're doing because it's all going to be in the same position. But I got these two pieces of steel from just a scrap bin, and there were already a hole right here. So I drilled that hole bigger, and then I just made that one to match. And one thing I did, that if you're building a hardcore 4x4 rig, you might want to change this, but mine do contact the bumper. So if you're building a truck to do super hardcore trails, I would lower this a little bit, but I did this more for aesthetics. I mean, I pull stuff with it, but I don't take the truck to like King of the Hammers. It's not, I don't beat the truck that much. But yeah, this side's essentially the same, but the opposite. If you're gonna do this, I recommend getting some unibits. And the way that I did mine to make it so that I didn't go through the bits so fast is I got a little cooking pan tray, filled it with used motor oil, and then I just laid these pieces in there flat as I drilled it, and it worked pretty good. For the D-rings, I used bushings for a breather, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. Breather on the valve cover. I cut them in half and made bushings for it. So yeah, that was the way I found to do it. And pretty soon I'm going to be doing the back, and I'll make a video on that as well. Hey, so like I was saying about using these cooking pan trays, so if you've got one of these and you fill it with used motor oil, this is another one of the pieces of metal I used. This one I didn't make a bracket out of, but essentially I just put it in there, filled it up so the oil was up there, and you can drill it as long and as fast and as hard as you want to, and you won't burn a bit up. It does take a little bit of work to paint it though. You gotta wipe it with wax and grease or lacquer thinner, but afterwards it'll be perfect. But yeah, essentially what I did is I straightened these out and cut this off. This is off a hay extender off a farm truck, but I didn't want to go buy the metal, so used up what I had.